We should talk about another statement that I know got my attention. It's from an interview that Bryan Danielson did recently. And man, you've seen it all in professional wrestling, Mr. Ross. So I can't wait to get your take on this. Danielson's on the record as saying, "My neck is wrecked. So it's not no chance, but it is risk versus reward at this point, right? So I want to be able to live comfortably with my wife and kids. One of the things our society has a real problem with is realizing when enough is enough. And I'm very satisfied with my career. And I think enough is enough." Man, that's refreshing to hear. We all have our opinions about wrestling retirements. I don't think that Bryan Danielson is saying this to mean that he'll never wrestle again, but I do think that his days as a full time wrestler are probably behind him. And full time means something different now than it did 5 years ago, or certainly 15 years ago. But what did you think of this statement? We have a problem with our society understanding when enough is enough, and he's content with his career. What do you think of that?
I applaud him. I applaud him, quite frankly, on how on his stance, his position, and I'm a big fan of Brian's. He could add so much to AEW's roster. I think that's important to note. Uh, so I like the fact that he's done a good job, and he can add so much. Whether he wrestles again or not is irrelevant to me. He can add so much behind the scenes. Can Brian, and I hope that he gets a chance to shine one more time if that's what he chooses to do. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. He's got more to give. There's no doubt about that. Uh, he's got more to give, and let's just see how much more we're talking about here.
I for one am looking forward to a big weekend. There's a big a twist this weekend, and Tony Schiavone for one is fired up about it. He's going to be back calling live wrestling on TBS on Saturday. So it's the same time as normal Collision is, but it's a different network because of the NBA playoffs. Live wrestling Saturday night on a TBS network. Boy, that just feels old school and vintage and nostalgia and all that, doesn't it, Jim?
It does. It does, and I'm all for it. Anytime Schiavone can get him back in the saddle is a good deal to me. He's got a lot to add, lot to give, and so anyway, I think it's pretty cool.
It is cool, and I can't wait to see it. Of course, tickets are on sale now at AEWTIX.com, and I encourage everybody, if you haven't already, go make plans to see AEW live. JR is going to be there at Double or Nothing. They've got a big show coming up in Arizona in May. I can't wait to see that one. It feels like AEW always delivers on pay-per-view, but they're hitting a lot of fun dynamites and collisions lately. And whenever I sit down and start handling some wrestling, I'm usually trying to handle something good to eat too. And everything tastes a little better with a little help from jrsbbq.com. Michael Rathburn over on Twitter earlier this week tagged you and I in a tweet, Jim. And he wrote, "The absolute best seasoning I've ever had on a steak. God Almighty. I've been telling you guys for years to hook up that all purpose seasoning. You're going to absolutely love it. You'll also love the main event mustard, the Chipotle ketchup, the hot sauce, two types of barbecue sauce. There's something for everybody, including a whole host of autographed collectibles, cards, action figures, trading cards. There's something for everybody. And as JR always likes to say, it costs nothing to look at
Not
jrsbbq.com.
not a damn thing. It's all free, and the price is right. So check that out. Uh, go to the site and look around. That's what I suggest. It's a it's a cool thing, and we're building our business there very slowly, deliberately. But like I said, there's nothing better than our all-purpose seasoning. It works in so many different ways, and so give it a shot. Check it out.
I encourage everybody to go check out jrsbbq.com. And before we wrap up, I do think we should talk a little bit about what's happening with Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. They got the internet worked up earlier this week when they did an NWO style trailer, lasted about 2 minutes, and it was black and white, and it certainly felt like it was 1996 again, based on the vibe they were trying to lay out. And they were teasing the third man. Well, as I understand it, the third man was revealed, as you and I are recording earlier this morning, as Izzy Martinez, who is a very decorated amateur wrestling coach. I think he's even the 2024 Olympic coach. He's coached a bunch of UFC champions. And when it comes to amateur wrestling, he's on the short list of qualified guys to lead a camp and have a big coaching regimen. And I mean, all the champions that he's built through the years. So I think a lot of wrestling fans thought maybe this means Hogan and Eric were doing a new professional wrestling promotion, but it certainly feels like, based on this reveal, that they're starting Real American Freestyle, which I guess we're led to believe is going to be like something collegiate wrestlers can do after their college careers are finished. I think most of us know that if you don't decide to go the Kurt Angle route and join the professional ranks of WWE or AEW or what have you and become a professional wrestler, the other option is often to go into MMA. Now that you've got wrestling down, let's see if you can add striking and some jiu-jitsu and maybe hope to land a job in the UFC someday, or just go back to coaching. You know so much about amateur wrestling. Maybe you say, well, my career's behind me and let's focus on coaching. But for those folks who still wanted to compete, but they didn't want to go into pro wrestling and they didn't want to get punched in the face or learn jiu-jitsu in the UFC, and they just want to continue amateur wrestling, which is, for a lot of these guys, their life's love and passion. This may be the answer for that. If that's what this is, and it's going to be sort of a UFC style presentation, but focusing on amateur wrestling, I think I could get behind that. That sounds fun to me. I want to check that out. What do you think of that idea?
I'm interested. I'm curious. I don't know where it's all going to head. Again, it's like we said before here. Having the curiosity and the patience to let things evolve is important. We got to have patience and see where things head. Eric's entrepreneurial spirit. We'll see how that plays out on the long haul. And anytime you get Bischoff and Hogan together, you just never know what's going to work
out. Well said. We'll all stay tuned to see what's next for Real American Freestyle. And Jim, I'm going to have a lot of fun watching Collision this weekend. As a reminder, it's on Saturday night on TBS rather than TNT. So make plans to join AEW this weekend. I've got an eyelash in my eye. And Jim, it looks like we are out of time. Is there anything else we need to plug or hit for you today as we're putting a button on today's show?
No, things are good, man. My appearances have been good. I had an appearance here a while back, and that's been a cool thing. So no, I'm good, Connie. I think we've covered our bases today. A lot of different variety of things to talk about, and just my voice is about shot, but I've had a good time hooking back up with all the fans, and that's been important for me to continue to maintain and to grow our fan base, and that's pretty cool for me. I'm very happy that we've got